Hello and welcome back to the NewsX Sunday Guardian Roundtable. Well, this week we're again focusing on the COVID crisis and, of course, what is life post-lockdown. Because don't forget, we are still living in a COVID continuous world. The virus is very much there outside. But at the same time, also, we have to continue our businesses because don't forget, it's both lives and livelihoods that matter. So I've got together a group of young professionals who are actually going to tell me how they've begun their work post-lockdown, what are the challenges that they are facing in terms of whether it's just opening the shops and making sure they're opening their workplaces and making sure that they are safe. Restaurant owners are also here and also making it safe for their customers, for their workers, and also are they getting enough workforce? Are people buying? What is the economy like? These are some of the questions that I'm hoping to have answered over here on the roundtable today. Joining me is Sumaya Dalmia. She is a fitness professional and the founder of Sumaya's. She also owns a range of premium health clubs across Delhi and NCR. There is Navneet Kalra. He is in the restaurant business, a well-known name. He's a partner at the Town Hall, Public Affairs, Mr. Choi. He also runs the Khan Chacha chain, and he has a restaurant in DC called Karma, the Modern Indian. Diya Singh, Tony and Diya Singh are famous film producers. In fact, their company DJs has been in the TV business in the inception of satellite TV and produced some of our most path-breaking content from Banegi Apni Baat, Just Mohabbat to the ever popular Jassi. I think Jassi Jaisa Koi Nahi is something that I grew up in while in school and college. College, because I think it's college time. Their latest TV show went back on air on Monday after lockdown, and it has reopened on Sony Entertainment Television, Mere Dad Ki Dulan. There is Anjul Bhandare. Anjul Bhandare Designs, well known. She's a master couturier. She has celebrated her, she's known for her elegant Lucknow hand embroideries, chikankari work, Mukesh work. In fact, her classic designs are mindfully highlighted with luxurious pearls and sequins on a soft pastel palette. And those who are seen in Anjul's outfits include Madhuri Dixit, Deepika Padukone, Kajol, Katrina Kaif, Kareena Kapoor Khan, Tara Sutaria, Tabu, Mahira Khan. All the names, Anjul, you're really there rocking it. And Namita Kohli, she's the founder of Visma Atria Interiors. She specializes in interior design, architecture, furnishing, and soft furnishings. Namita has designed homes of industrial houses like Pearl Global, Lanco Infrastructure, Surya Hotel, Paras Buildtech, two homes of CEOs from Goldman Sachs, Becton and Dickinson, National Geographic, and also homes of celebrities like the golfer Arjun Atwal. So all of you very accomplished people, thank you so much for joining me on the panel today. And Anjul, I'll begin with you. How has life been post-lockdown? You've opened up, I remember you and we had a discussion before, during quarantine, and you were locked down. You were worried about, your workers, how you're going to get the designs in shops, how are people going to try those designs. So what headway have you made?
Thank you for having me over, Priya. It's absolutely fabulous to be here again. We opened up after the first lockdown once we had that unlock one system going ahead. So we opened up, and of course there have been a lot of challenges when it comes to the fashion industry. I mean, considering that major part of the, employment which we give out is to the migrant people who come out from Bengal, who come from UP, who come from all parts of the country to come and work here to make their livelihood. So they all went back. To get them back together, to open up, and to wait for the customers to come in, to sanitize, to convince people that it's going to be all right, please try and move. It's been a very hard challenge. But yes, on a brighter note, people are going ahead with home shopping, people are going online. So there is a little movement. I won't say a lot of it, but yes, a little, but it's been really hard, and to convince people to get in, to the extent that even telling people that it's safe to buy a garment is pretty hard because they don't know who all have tried it, how it is going to be. So this COVID whole thing is such a big tension to people who really don't know how to go ahead with it. So it's been a hard task, but yes, people are slowly coming up, and I want to be positive that it's going to be fine. That's it.
How has work been like for you? Are you as optimistic as Anjul? Because again, you're also dealing with both manpower and personal interaction with your clients.
Yes, Priya, it has been very tough. I think where we are facing a larger situation is the interaction with the clients. Because, as far as manpower is concerned, when lockdown 1 happened, we actually sent a lot of our workforce back home. which I think was fortunate, because when they went back home, by the time lockdown 1 opened, they were actually itching to come back. So we have about 60 or 70% of our force back. And that has taken care of the back end of it. But unfortunately, a lot of sites haven't started yet. It's like she said, the migrant workers have not come back yet. So it's been, it's difficult to get contract labor back at sites. I have managed to get my skilled labor back, but it's very difficult to get the daily contract labor back at site. So that, I think, has been a little bit of a challenge. Also interacting with clients. Clients are mortified now to come to their own sites. Because if you have extra labor at the site, then they feel, is it safe enough to come? So what we've done is we've now had to post one person per site to actually manage that. And that person's role is just to be monitoring, walking around, like a school teacher, monitoring that people's masks are on, monitoring that every hour and a half, we actually send out the guy with sanitizer. He goes and sprays everybody's hands. So we're doing that. This is what we are trying to do as far as we can. But it is very slow. We've had little or no footfall in the showroom because people are really not stepping out. Clients are not stepping out. And, but I think it's like Anjum said, we are looking that, there is a little bit of change happening. There is a little bit of more openness between between the people outside, and they're actually more eager to step up, getting a little fed up. They're wanting to venture into malls. They're wanting to venture out. So I think this possibly could be the start of the resurgence. Yeah.
Telling us that Diya, you're a filmmaker also based in Mumbai. Film industry is something people are very curious about. I was glad to see your shows back on air, but what's it like?
Thank you. Really nice of you to have me. So I personally, I was not very excited. I was really nervous because I kept thinking to myself that how can you put 80 odd people's lives at risk when you want to come back on, giving people entertainment is all good, but, does this make sense? So I was a detractor. I kept thinking it's okay, we can wait this out, Honestly, this has been the first time in my history of being on air, on television, from the days we started Banegi Apni Baat. It's 27 years. And we've never faced, once a show starts, you just get on air and you're always on air, and there has never been a break. Advertisers have gone away. There's nothing really, there is no business. And then then the whole thought was that, we all need to get this ecosystem going. We need to get, this functioning. So we have, a whole producer committee. And when they approached us, the CM, because a lot of Mumbai a lot of Bollywood is, Mumbai is Bollywood, Bollywood's Mumbai. This is where the business is. So what they did was they were okay that we would start, but there have been a lot of rules and regulations. And I'm honestly extremely happy with the way things have shaped up. We've been shooting for the last 3 weeks. We started somewhere at the end of June. We were one of the last businesses to open up. But the kinds of checks and balances that we have experienced has actually, there must be about, 25 or 30 television shows shooting in Mumbai at this moment for different various channels. And they may be just a couple of cases of COVID, really just 2, So it's really been heartening. So we have something called a COVID inspector on the set. We've cut down unit sizes. We have about 80 to 100 people on a shoot on a daily basis. And we shoot 30 days a month to keep this, the entertainment alive for the viewers. We've reduced the size to 40. We have intense fumigation. We start at 4 a.m. We fumigate the set. We have strict rules. We can't shoot beyond 7. We don't use junior actors. We've also self-quarantined. So half the unit stays on the premise where the shoot is taking place. So it's been a world of changes. We've we've had to write differently. We can't do big, large sequences. We can't do shadis in the way we've always done them. We have to be so careful with the way the actors, and I think the actors have been really brave. They would be the people most.
Scripts are changing to social distancing.
Absolutely. So we've had to show all the sanitizing. We've shown the masks. We've also. I think it's a healthy way to educate the audience because they really look up to the characters on TV. So I think it's great messaging, so the show went on. We got a couple of calls that you guys did it so well, you showed it. So it's there, and we're not trying to push it too much because it's finally about entertainment as well. And we're writing cleverly. We can't move outside the set. So we have a set, a fixed place, and we shoot. We shoot 12 hours and then we have to let people, off. And, I think it's touch wood. It's been really nice. And we as producers, we've had to really be very, very strict. And it's really about reminding people. So like she said, every 1 hour, we have to remind people to wear their masks, to sanitize, that they, be very, very careful about social distancing. And it's about their lives. So everyone must contribute in this process, and actors are at risk, and we should be very careful, when it comes to them, because eventually when they're shooting, they have to have their masks off, they can't.
Yeah. So Maya, fitness is something that I noticed that actually picked up during lockdown. So did your business do well, and how did you handle it? And
I think a lot of people realized that self-care was of utmost importance, and things that they had put off for so many years because of, say, I'm busy, I have work, and, I intend to go to the gym, or I intend to spend time on myself, and that wasn't happening. And I think people really looked at themselves to do a lot of self-preservation and precautionary measures to build up their immunity. And obviously exercise really tops that list. But with the business of gyms, gyms have always been a highly contaminated zone, even pre-lockdown and pre-COVID, right? It's whenever there's viral season changes, a gym is a very risky environment where even though we maintain really high levels of sanitization, even pre-COVID, but you're touching things, you're picking up weights, even though people are, you're moving in within each other, you're stepping onto a treadmill, which has someone's last dot of sweat left on it. So it was a bacterial viral zone. But what's happened now is that there are 2-3 things that have happened. People have realized that it doesn't need to be fancy to get the job done. So you don't need lines and lines of equipment to be fit. As long as you're home, you have a mat and you have a ball and you have a pair of weights. And for people who are lucky to have home gyms, it's fine. You can get your job done there. People who like interaction or motivation with their personal trainers, we've gone digital. So that's something that people have realized really works for them. And actually, people are realizing that it's actually fitting into their routine. So all the people, like including my husband, who's always gone to work and made excuses, he's realized that this is actually really easy. I can walk up and down my stairs, or I can take out 1 hour of my day, which I'm doing right now. So I think that's also really set in. And third is that trainers themselves have actually pushed themselves out of their comfort zone to reinvent themselves, especially in India, because the people who actually choose training as their profession are mostly, obviously now it's changed, but in the past, there's always been people who've been either college dropouts or people who've been really good at sport, or people who've backed on to training as their second profession. So they've actually really pushed themselves to reinvent themselves, get online, improve their communication skills, figure out how to motivate a client through a screen. And because it's not the same thing, right, when you're physically seeing someone. So I think for us, we are pretty okay. Internationally, the world has changed for us. Technology has really helped us. There are these new gadgets, something called iHome, which is just this mirror like your Apple TV, and you can click on, you can train with any trainer around the world. And all it is like a sleek mirror. Or you have the one Peloton bike, again, which is just a bike, and you're virtually training with anybody across the world and communicating. And that whole social sense of togetherness, of competitiveness, that is still all intact through the technology that's been presented to us. So I think we're okay. But I do really feel bad for gym owners who physically own their space and have rents to pay, have trainers they need to pay rent on. There are a lot of people who can't afford the rents continually. So I know a couple of gyms who have shut down, and it's really sad because the gym business is very expensive. By the time the fit outs go into crores. So I'm just feeling bad that, there is a little bit of economic loss that has happened in that space.
I think, Navneet, I kept you last because I played the gender card with you for no other reason.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
I think Sumaya's words must have sent a shiver down your spine. Virtual socializing is not what you want. You want people to come out, be there, sit there, come to the tables. Don't do this via digital, right?
So I think in the restaurant business, the business is coming back, and people are just waiting so that the drinks start, and that they are waiting to come and meet people, because in the lockdown, it's been now 4 months, and in 4 months, everybody has got bored eating at home. They have tried. Everybody has become the best chef in town, in the house. But
Yes.
they all want to go out and eat at the restaurant, because restaurant is not only food, it's also about the ambience. It's also about meeting other friends and seeing who's sitting on the other table. So restaurant business is picking up. It's slow, but still a long way to go.
How's it working, the curfew? I remember last time you were very upset about the curfew because dining was not allowed. Has the curfew been relaxed a bit? So has that improved?
Yeah, so now the dining is allowed, the alcohol is not allowed. So I always tell everybody that if somebody's come for food, he can also get COVID if he has a drink or not a drink. So we have to open up the economy, because it's very difficult for us to convince people, because they want to come out only when alcohol is available.
Yeah, as you said very memorably, a glass of beer is not going to give you COVID. I still remember that famous
that's
quote of
correct.
yours.
But abroad, like in the restaurant I run in Washington, D.C., everything is open there.
Have there been COVID cases, or are you managing to keep it at bay?
No, we touch wood, we haven't
Touch
had
wood.
any COVID case till now. Yeah, but I
So
run an optical business which has picked up quite a lot.
Real
now. This
opticals,
one-
yes.
Yeah, correct.
So I think it's picked up because we're all doing Zoom shows and watching TV. So
Yeah, lot of technology and lot of screenplay. But I think the restaurant business is going to a positive side, and it is going to pick up very soon. We are just waiting in a week's time. If the MHA allows the alcohol to be served, it will bounce back.
and you got your staff back. I remember that was also a problem. A lot of people had left.
Staff is still a problem. Like Anjul said, that a lot of people, migrant workers, have gone back, and it's very difficult to convince them because they have to pay rentals here, and a lot of places are having salary cuts and all. So it's for them, it is very difficult to come back, and transportation is also a problem when they want to come back.
Anjul, have you e-commerce? Of course, is there for you, but I guess your clients would want to try out the outfit, and you do a lot of custom fittings also. So how are you working towards that?
As you rightly said, Priya, we are all about touch feel of the garment, so that's how it works. We are not in fast fashion, so we are into couture, and we are doing, so especially for this times when we were in the lockdown, we actually had our artisans do a small range, which was actually pocket friendly and which we put on online. We got a great response on that. But at the end of the day, that's not what we work on. It's the couture which actually gives the feel. And as the whole panel, I'm quite happy that everybody's very positive that things are moving towards the right direction, which is a great thing. Same way, we are now actually getting a lot of queries regarding even if the wedding is small, even if the wedding is big. So people want to come back. What we have started doing is that e-commerce is one side, but like virtually, we have started, even if the bride doesn't want to come over, virtually showing her something and then only calling her over for the final fitment. And only, trying to send the swatches to her, sending her all the designs, all the artwork, everything goes to her virtually, and then probably sending them, physical samples of things. And then once she's okay with everything, we process the whole thing, and then after sanitization and everything, we just call the bride in once and for all for her final fitting, so that it's just once that she comes out and she's still happy to do that. So it's just about living the new normal. That's the whole idea. Things are obviously getting tougher because I would be the one person who would wanted to go back to normal as soon as possible. As I told you last time, I am okay with everything else how it was. But it is actually coming back, and it's great, as Navneet just said, that people are actually now tired of sitting at home. They want to go out. We really want to socialize. We are scared, all right, but still at the end of the day, we want to be out. So it's there, it's coming in slowly. But yes, we are still scared about our seniors, about our kids in the house. So we are moving virtually. E-commerce is doing fine. The technology is helping us. And it's moving on. we are being positive.
Artisans, they're all, based, I guess they all have gone home or they're based in rural areas. So how are you communicating with them on?
For
Zoom?
me, my artisans were always working from home. I have a production unit which only does stitching in Delhi. So all my work was always, because I'm completely craft based, was always done in villages. So that has not much changed for me. And my work takes months to do. So they already had work which they were doing. So the capsule collection which we created for the e-commerce was the only thing which we sent out, and that went completely virtually to them. And thanks to all the technology, everybody has WhatsApp today. So it worked out. There were slight hitches here and there, but we still worked it out. So it's been great. But otherwise, people who have to get in the labor, as Navneet said, and Namita said, it is really hard to be. And getting people to the store is the hardest thing today.
That's true. Malls have opened, but people haven't. And before I let you go, I'm going to ask you before the show ends to share us your affordable line, the tagline for that. So that we'd all want to invest in that. Namita, people have, started coming. Are you saying that business has begun? It's slow, but it's the green shoots have begun. You see people have they scaled down what they want? Are they putting in their design? Do they want social distancing also? Some norms to be followed, maybe something. Have you seen some change in that?
Yes, Priya, there has been a lot of change. Definitely, there has been some downscaling because I think people are a little unsure right now. It would be unfair to say that, no, everything is hunky-dory and people are back. People are still unsure about what the future is going to hold. And we hope that this is going to be, now with the way that they're saying that the vaccines and stuff have come on, we are hoping that something is going to get taken care of over there. But we are not sure yet whether how the next 6-8 months are going to pan out. Even the next year and a half. So people are still being very conservative. Having said that, we've been fortunate enough. The work that we've started again, our clients have come back. We are back into the same mold. But just picking on what Sumaya said and picking on what Anjum said, we've had to redefine ourselves and redevelop ourselves. So we've actually, when I met a client, I would do a lot of one-on-one with a client. I would sit down, I would understand from them what they wanted. I would give them back what they wanted. I would I would make changes on the spot. With that missing, I've had to reinvent the way that we send out our first shot of design to the client. So it has to be so appealing, it has to be so innovative, and it has to be interactive. That has been the biggest challenge on how to do that. So of course, different video platforms have helped us interacting with our clients. But more than that, we've actually become more tech savvy, and we've tried to get more onto like doing presentations which carry more defined images, doing 3D imagery, which sometimes clients said, okay, doesn't matter, let it be. Now we are doing more of that. We're trying to develop also, and we're working on doing virtual stuff. So which means that when you actually design a home, you will actually be able to, through various forms of glasses, you're actually going to be able to see everything by just moving your head around. You'll be able to actually visualize and feel yourself in the room. Now, those are things that are becoming exciting for clients, so that one-on-one distancing is there. But because I primarily do home, social distancing is not such an issue. Coming back to, however, when you talk about commercials, in the commercial establishments, social distancing is definitely going to make a lot of difference. And there is going to be a lot of changes in that. You're going to find newer materials coming in. You're going to find more straight line interiors coming in, not so crowded. I think anything that's going to give a client a feeling of cleanliness, a feeling of zen, is going to be the place that the client's going to want to come back to. So, the overpacked interior for commercial interiors, I feel, is not going to be there now.
So cut the clutter. But they are also a larger look at the entertainment industry. We are seeing now films are no longer being released in theaters. We are seeing them being released on OTT platforms. So you were, I think you began with the small screen really. So you were already a head start ahead. But is small now going to be the new normal?
Yeah, I think, there's a huge debate on how do we go ahead. And everyone's got a great opportunity to develop ideas because everyone was home. So, your Zoom was the new normal, sitting in front of the screen, jamming. It's been hard because, the physical interaction was so important in creating ideas. You go into writers' rooms, you share, and just staring at a screen for 4 hours to 6 hours, trying to get ideas going has been hard, but people have tried. Now the whole debate is, how do you write ideas for 6 months ahead? When will the vaccine come? How will we shoot those? Because for television, we're on sets and we're safer. But for OTT platforms, you're trying to explore universes, worlds. You're taking the audience into places that they haven't seen and they don't know about, and they want to get to know about these things. So I think films are going to face the highest brunt.
Kind of out of time, so quickly I want to get Sumaya and Navneet in for a quick word. Sumaya, have you begun reinventing yourself in terms of the workouts? Because not just being fit, but immunity, boosting your immunity has also become a big thing, a concern for everybody.
Like I said earlier, people have just realized that preventive health is really the way to go forward. We're in an environment where we have so much research and data available to us, and it's just about time that we actually make use of it, and what to eat, what not to eat. I think we all know everything. It was that nobody ever took it seriously and implied it on themselves. You had two sets of people, either the ones like me who would be super healthy, super disciplined, and then there would be the other extreme, and each one of them would look at each other as aliens. So I think now there's definitely going to be some kind of a meeting point where it is going to be a way of life. I mean, I'm looking at the way I'm handling my kids, just building immunity, eating clean food, exercising. It's just become a part of who we are. And I think even when we come back physically, hopefully in the gyms, like Namita said, that architecturally and interiorly, we're already pulling out pieces of equipment from our existing gyms. We already redone it, we're preempting it whenever we get the go ahead to open. The equipment inside the gyms have been cut down into half. The social distancing has been maintained between each treadmill. It's not about getting in the numbers now in the gym. It's about keeping the environment as clean and even trying to get half the numbers in. And I see people will come back because, at the end of the day, there is a social interaction that is missing when you do it one-on-one, So lots are changing, but, like I said, like we all are feeling this is the new normal, and I think it will continue to be. There's a good in all of this, which is that we will not take A, life for granted. B, we've also filtered out a lot of the extra stuff that we were doing and wasting our energies on. I think people are going to learn how to contain themselves and take out a lot of positivity out of it. And I think as an economy also, culturally, it's been really good for us because even the lowest denominator income-wise has learned to wait in lines, to wait for a bus, to not overcrowd and not be physical with each other. That little bit of civic sense that we were missing. Hopefully, as a country, we've been able to bring that back, because today when you're out on the roads, you're seeing even the person who's not that educated maintaining that social distancing, following some rules and regulations. So I just feel, all in all, it's a plus in every which way. You just have to look at it positively.
You're starting to look at it positively, I hope, especially after Sumaya's pep talk. But you didn't go into takeaways at all. You don't think that is really the answer for the restaurant, for the food business?
See, we are doing takeaway, but takeaway business is very less. Because people, again, I will say I don't drink, so I'm not asking the government to open the alcohol for me. So,
okay.
Yeah, so it's for the guests who like to come and interact with people. So takeaway is not the solution, because the food doesn't taste. Some food is good to have it in the restaurant. Indian food, maybe you can take it out, but a lot of times the stuff what we sell is sushi and all, which is, customers are more happy to eat it fresh there.
And the presentation also.
Yeah, the presentation, then you are sharing it with your friends, you are having a laugh, and then you have 2 drinks extra with that.
Well, let's all drink to that, and thank you all for coming here and sharing your experiences as to how opening up has been. And I hope to get you back soon, maybe a month later, and see how we've fared, all of us. But thank you all for coming here, and thank you for watching this show. That's it for us. Thank you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.